Hello everybody. We are here with Shmulik Gov Ari. Hi Shmulik.
Shalom. How are you?
Very good. How are you? How is everything?
Like everything, it's a Corona time. But in the word Corona, there is also in Hebrew, likro. You can read. So I read things that I was waiting for a long time. There is kri'ah, like someone is calling you. There is a lot of telephone calls. I'm joking, but it's Corona time. We work. We really work. We do projects that we never thought about it. More some of the academic work that I have to do, and a lot of Zoom event that usually we go camps. What is it? We go and teach and be part of the culture and part of what we are doing with the culture. But now it's like almost every day I have to be in a different Zoom session, and you cannot say no because everybody knows you're at home. No, but I do it with love.
I know, and I can imagine that a lot of the dancers and a lot of the people now that are around the world that are enjoying all these opportunities. It's almost like bringing them closer to you also, and you are not just a choreographer, but you are also, as I said last week when I had the program online, you are one of the legends of the Rikudei, and you are someone close to me since I started to dance, since I started to teach, since before I started to dance you met my father and you knew my family and Moshe Telem. And I think that for me is really important because you are one of the only people that really know me in real. And we work with many people in the field, but I think that, and we always said it, you are not just a friend, you're family.
Thank you so much. This is so interesting what you say, and it's important because the expression you don't choose family, but you choose friends. But when you choose friends that they become to be your family, it's the best family.
That's
So
right. That's right.
I'm happy
That's
to
right.
be part of your family, and you're part
Thank
of
you.
mine.
And we met in 2008. I was just 18 years old. And I remember it was the first time I went out of Argentina. I was still living in Argentina. And the first time I went to a camp outside of Argentina. And when I came to Mahul Europa for the first time, and you talked to me like you knew me forever, and you said hi to my father, and you sent a kiss to my family. I remember, I have the pictures in my computer. I will never forget this. I'm not just saying because we are talking about this now, but genuinely it's a memory I have with me. But I want to ask you something. I want to know, where were you born?
Before I'll answer you, I just wanted to say to you, Eli, I'm well known as someone who really, I don't want to say the word help, but very much close to the young generation, because I really, really deep, and you can ask all the young generation, really deep in my heart believe that there is like a big circle, and each one of us in that circle is like a beautiful photo that each one of us is inside that photo, and each one of us is put his mark in his own time. I really was fascinating when I saw you, besides your dance quality, that everybody knows that if you wanted, you could make it in any professional stage. When I say professional stage, I mean the biggest companies in the world, without exaggerating. Everybody knows your quality. And I said to myself, we are so fortunate to have in folk dancing. I know it's hard to bring young generation to the folk dancing, and when there is one, I appreciate so much the generation before me, but I don't think that my generation, and specifically myself, I'm not talking about kavod and respect. I'm talking about sharing, leading, maybe helping, maybe just being there. I never felt that someone was there for me, and I'm not saying that in a sad way. Then when I saw you, um, we talked behind your back, and I never told you that before. That's the first time I'm telling you. We should make this guy being with us here. he cannot go back to Argentina. And now when I see you leading Harkada, this is what you are. You bring yourself.
נכון.
And Baruch Hashem, thank God, you are one of the leaders that can teach so many people to be humble. And this is what was the connection immediately with you. שפתאום אתה רואה מישהו ואתה אומר, זה חבר שלי. It doesn't matter, you know? When you see it, it's like like a situation that it happened. I was born in a little city in the north of Israel called Nahariya.
Okay.
It was in the news lately. Then I grew up in Akko. But dance and art always was my passion. You know, I remember myself in Yom Kippur, sitting down behind the teva where the cantor is singing. And I remember the chazan, the cantor, singing. I even remember, I think it was Ohel Katamno. It was Achot Ktana. It's one of the piyutim, one of the best prayers that, it's an old one. It's something from the 3rd or 4th century. And I remember myself drumming with my hand on the wood while he was praying, because I found a very nice rhythm. Na 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 na, boom bum boom bum na na na. And then one of the guys says, "Stop it! What are you doing?" And I was like, I'm praying. What do you want from me?
You grew up in a Yemenite family?
I grew up in a very precise, pure Yemenite family, but where I grew up, we were like only 2 Yemenite families, maybe 3, and the whole street was Moroccan. This is why I'm so much interested and know about other cultures of Judaism, not only Yemenite, also Tunisian, Moroccan, Ashkenazi we have. And as a matter of fact, this neighborhood still exists. It's in Akko. It's Shikun Agash. You asked me where I came from. I came from a very Orthodox, beautiful education, wonderful, warm family. I was very close to my mother and my father. I was a good cheder student. I studied in a cheder till I was 14, and I loved it. The Mori, the teacher, taught us. His business was we were like 100 kids on one teacher. So the idea was, when you know how to read, your obligation to teach another 2. So he taught you how to teach, exactly.
How many dances have you choreographed in Rikudeam?
More than 640, something like this. But I don't show more than 1/3 what I create. I create much more. But I have to work hard with myself, and this is what I'm doing. If I have 10 debkas, new ones, I have to choose 1 to bring to Machol Europa. And to make sure, אני לא מבלבל לכם את המוח, and I'm not wasting your time. I heard one of the teachers, no names, in one of the camps, they asked him, "What's your mission?" He says, "To have more dances than Shmulik." I was like, why you need to have more dances? I mean, we're not in a competition. Take some. Because as you know, I don't make dances. I make
stories.
This is
and what is the story of the first dance that you made?
First dance was like this. It's so funny because I never told you that. I opened a session in Akko, where I was born, the area, and was there a very nice lady, and I remembered her, and I never knew where. And then she came to me at the end of the session. She says, "I am Haganenet Rina. You were in my garden, in my kindergarten, and here is a photo of you making a dance when you were 4 years old. And this is the only photo that I have from my childhood."
Wow.
This is the only photo. And in that photo, you can see me putting my hand, and you see, because I used to talk when I was a kid with tadik. My thumb was out, like tha. And katan nechmad, and was the first dance. I remember that. I remember, even it was the second where I remember I have a strange Very good memory.
I want to share with everybody that is listening 3 dances from the first ones that you created in Rikudeam after you were began.
When it's become to be dances for people. When I start making dances, I never knew that I'm making dances. It was not making dances. It was making steps for music. We didn't know the word choreographer. So, Ahavat HaChayalim, people knew that. But before Ahavat HaChayalim was Mazalot and Shir Sameach. I had like bunch of 10 dances, Yom Aleph Bashavua, that only Yankale Levi, may rest in peace. And he used many of my dances, even outside of Israel. Well, most of the teachers used my dances outside of Israel without telling me till I found out, and I took it as a compliment. So Mazalot and Yom Aleph Bashavua and Shir Sameach, not Shir Sameach of Giora and Giora Kadman Zaral and Yoav Shriel. It was Shir Sameach by Riu Medina. Anyway, but the dances that become to be all over is Ahavat HaChayalim, Lechu Neranena, Naale.
Amazing. So I think before we continue, we will now put these dances for everybody to enjoy and to join with us to dance.
בערב השבת אשב אזכרה בימות שנוגעות לי ללב, שולחן ונרות ערוכים באורה, ואבא מברך בכל ערב, ואמא האם מטפחת אל השולחן מגישה מטעמים ומבט אוהב. אחיי ואחיותיי פוצחים בשירה, ואבא בפסוקים דובר. לכו נרננה וגם דרור יקרא, צור מי שלא אכלנו בשר הממונה. לכו נרננה וגם דרור יקרא, צור מי שלא אכלנו בשר הממונה. חוזרים מבית הכנסת, אבא והילדים עומדים בתור בפתח, את אמא להשכים, ואז אל השולחן נשב המסובים, ואמא מגישה את הג'חנון והביצים, ואבא יברך עם צאת השבת לנר ולבשמים, נפשי מייחלה. ואבא יברך עם צאת השבת לנר ולבשמים, נפשי מייחלה. לכו נרננה וגם דרור יקרא, צור מי שלא אכלנו בשר הממונה. לכו נרננה וגם דרור יקרא, צור מי שלא אכלנו בשר הממונה.
אל מול המכשולים, לא נראה עוד מזר וספק לא נותר, נשובה ביתנו להקים. נעלה, נעלה, לא ניסום שוב לאחור, זו הדרך בה נלך, זו הדרך אל הדרור, אבנה בובה בניו השבים מרחוק. יד ביד ניתנה נשכח את העבר ונצעד אל המחר. מירדן ועד ים, מדרום ועד גולן, היא שלנו למשכן. מדורי הדורות בה חפרנו בורות, נתנו אילנות. לא איתם המסע עד אשר בה נדע, שלום ושלווה בניתה. נעלה, נעלה, לא ניסוג שוב לאחור. זו הדרך בה נלך, זו הדרך אל הדרור. עד נבוא בנשב ונפריח כל גיא ומצור. ויברך אלוהים את בניו השבים
So after dancing these three dances, I want to ask you a little bit about your professional stage experience as a performer, not just as a dancer of Rikudei Am, but actually professionally on the stage.
So when I finished the army, the buzz was all over that there is a group called Hakat Karmon, and it's hard to be there. Literally, thousands of dancers used to go, thousands, to the audition. So they used to take like a gymnasium, like a huge one, to basketball size, and to put lines of 30, 40, like 100, 150 each time. And Karmon used to stand up and to do something like a Yamanat step hop, Yamanat step turn right, and freeze. And then he said to everybody, Tuvia Tischler was the assistant, and then he said, only if I say to someone to stay, stay, and all the others just go out. Thank you. No, he says, and all the others, thank you very much, you can go.
Wow, very tough, eh?
Oh, yeah. Come on. I never felt that someone said to me to stay, so I took my stuff. I remember I was still with the army stuff, and then I was walking. You have to walk a long way to the road. While I'm walking, I remembered that when I came in, Maman, Shlomo, was there, and he hugged me, and Maman and me know each other for many, many years. Maman is a generation before me. He used to be in the yeshiva with my big brother. And his first wife, Lucy, was my partner in dancing for many years. I'm walking there, and somehow I'm hearing my back of my, Shmulik, come back, it's a mistake. I'm, Shlomo, what's going on? He said to me, where are you going? I said, he said that we're going to stay, only he mentioned us or asking us to stay. He says, no, it's a mistake. You know, Shlomo. Come on, tavo. I came, okay, everybody, and I was now included with the people. You're going to have another test for tomorrow. Everybody come tomorrow, and I came the after. After that, Karmon saw me, and he always used to try to see where I am. He says, you come front. He never left me. Working with him, knowing him personally and professionally was something very unique. I never talked about anybody about that. But what I found, I think, with Karmon, because his stories start from no point and ended in no point. And this is, I think, I don't know if this is all the secrets, but I think for myself, this is what I learned from Karmon. He never was afraid from good talent. He did to me, he scared me to death. Ofer Maliach, Zichrono Livracha, oh my God, just to say that, it makes me, Ofer was the best friend of mine in the Lakat Karmon. And I learned a lot from Ofer, because Ofer was someone who went so many times outside of Israel, and for me it was something new. So Karmon came to me in one point. Oh my God, I'll never forget that. He asked me, he said to Ofer, go with him. He said to Pini, go with him. He sent me to another hall He said, I'm coming an hour from now, and this is the music, create a Tawani dance for me. First I start shaking. Ma. And then immediately I flipped it and I said, okay, this is something I can show that I can do. And people don't know, and this is something that infinite. And there is a solo between me and Ofer, and that, as a matter of fact, I created that. And Carmon, when you create something, this is what I'm saying, he never was afraid of talented people. He used to say, okay, I need a feeling of craziness now. And then you do something, and then you say, okay, you, come here. I like what he did. This is the way he works.
Everybody to actually enjoy now is a footage from the time that you were in the Leakat Carmon.
Oh my God, you have it?
Performing with so many other amazing dancers, amazing. Everybody is so top. And we have a part of Chorshat Eucalyptus.
Oh my God.
And a part of Haroa Aktana. So we're going to now show a little bit of this, just a little excerpt. So yalla, let's enjoy these performances with Shmulik in Leakat Carmon. What did you do after performing Leakat Carmon?
After you coming from Carmon, you don't have where to dance in Israel. After Carmon, we came home, and like everybody else, trying to, I didn't have a time to survive. I knew exactly what I want. I wanted to go into study to be a PE teacher. But I never knew if I want to be a PE teacher, but I knew that I want that education. And then I start supporting myself by doing harkadot.
Where?
My harkadot till now, everybody remember them so strongly. Akko was a big center that I created from children, teenagers, families, adult performing groups. While I was student, I still continue to hold not everything, just my big sessions. I was very proud of myself. I supported myself. I never knew that I have to go and now to publish my dances. So I created dances for my groups. And then the teachers came to me and said, there is Yoav, there is Mishael, you go. We had a meeting And I came all the way from the north, and I was late because of traffic. But I don't remember what happened. The meeting should be in Shlomo's house. Yo, I was so mad. He says, "You're losing my youth life, my youth time, whatever." I never said anything. And then I show him a dance. He said, what are you showing me? And I'll tell you the name of the dance, and you'll be surprised. And then I said, okay. It was in a room when Shlomo, when like he had like 100 of costumes there. Shlomo's house always, because he's got a lot of costumes, a lot of, he works with that. I said, okay. I almost took my stuff to go, and Shlomo stood up again.
Again.
He said, Shmulik, Yoav, he said to him, are you crazy? This is a big hit, will be. Yoav looked at him and says, what are you talking about? He says, Yoav said to him, okay, if you say it, no, I'll take it. He didn't want to take it.
So let me ask you, you mentioned before that you were and you are, I know you are very connected to religion. And literally next week is Yom Yerushalayim. And there are some very, very beautiful, popular, special that relate to Jerusalem, that relate to Yerushalayim. And I want to know if there is something behind that, because these dances they have something special. And I remember, for example, you teaching me in Machol Europa many years ago, Bein HaChomot, for example, in between, and the dance, it's like you are walking in Jerusalem. It's like you're going in all these little streets tell me a little bit more about this.
Well, when I created Yele Tov Yerushalayim, there is the guy that prays near the kotel, and there is the wall, and there is the wind, and there is the prayer, and there is lit atef batzitzit to cover yourself with the talit and everything. As I said, I see a photo, I see a picture, I see a story that I need to say. And the song talks about someone who come to Jerusalem, walked to Jerusalem, smell in Jerusalem, touched in Jerusalem, taste in Jerusalem, the whole spectrum of understanding Jerusalem. So Yele Tov Yerushalayim was one of the dances. When you walk inside, you take the whole wall, and then boom, you put your hand on your front, and then there is like a new wall where this wall came from. I saw that picture because when you look at the kotel, you can see random people, and then suddenly you see a group here and a group there and a group there. What is it? Minyanim. You need to have 10 people. So you see how being together, this is what the religion do, bring people together. This is Yele Tov Yerushalayim. When you take Shabbat Yerushalayim, I was afraid to teach the dance, because Shabbat Yerushalayim et Hashem. And the first part is the wall. When you take your leg up, everybody take the leg up, the knee, you see the wall. And then the opposite, because it doesn't matter where you look at Jerusalem, you see the wall. And then after that, it's like the gate. You open the gate, you close the gate, and then someone come and open and you close the gate again. There is a fight always in Jerusalem. They're against us, we are for them. Nobody is right. And there is Berach Banaich Bekirbech. Kravayim in Hebrew is here, is Ha'emtza, Tochech. And then Haleli Elohaich, you go inside and outside. Then Haleli Elohaich Tzion. As a matter of fact, when I did Haleli, it was the first time that someone used the hand in a very simple way, but meaning way. By the way, it came also with Lechun Ranena, which originally with the Lechun Ranena, it was much more difficult. It was like this.
Wow.
Yes. And people couldn't do that. I remember that. Then so when I finished Shabbat Yerushalayim, I remember, I don't know how, but Ben Tzitiram, may rest in peace, Radal, Zaral Zecher Rakdan Livracha, he said to me, show me the dance. It was in his home. He had like a little room somewhere there. And I showed him the dance, and he was smoking the cigarette. He was a smoker. While he's taking the air of the cigarette out, the smoke, I remember that he said to me, tonight in the Technion you'll teach. And you have to understand, Ilai, Technion was an institute for everything and for folk dancing, like you're talking about Mecca of the north of Israel, of many places in Israel. But why? Because you had like literally 1,000 people dance, but not in one place. There is 2 circles because it was on the roof somewhere. I said, you're sure? And I remember I couldn't eat, I couldn't breathe till I taught the dance. It was, the people was quiet after I finished, and then they start clapping, and it was like in the movies. It was like stronger and stronger. And then I came to teach it in the Ishtalmut. The Shfaim was like 400 teachers, was like a big wow. And then one of the ladies, very nice, good looking, she said, "Can I talk to you?" I said, "Yes." And then she come and looked at me and she says, "Why you need that? Why you do that to yourself?" I said, "What are you talking about? You're so talented. Why you have to create dances to this melody?" I understood, and then I looked at her and I said, my answer to you is, I don't know what about you. I don't know what's your roots. I don't know but this is my roots. And this is my heritage. And this is the story of my people. And I understand what you're saying. I understand where you came from. But you know what? This is what I think it should be. And that's it. And she said to me, nobody will dance it.
שם בחי ירושלים את אדוני, הללי אלוהיך ציון. שם בחי ירושלים את אדוני, הללי אלוהיך ציון. יחיזק בריחי שערייך, יחיזק בריחי שערייך, ברך בנייך בקרבך, ברך בנייך בקרבך, ברך בנייך בקרבך. הללי, הללי אלוהיך ציון, הללי, הללי אלוהיך ציון. שם בחי ירושלים את אדוני, הללי אלוהיך ציון. שם בחי ירושלים את אדוני, הללי אלוהיך ציון. יחיזק בריחי שערייך, יחיזק בריחי שערייך, ברך בנייך בקרבך, ברך בנייך בקרבך, ברך בנייך בקרבך. הללי, הללי אלוהיך ציון, הללי, הללי אלוהיך ציון. יחדיו נרננה, שאבן על אבן על חומותייך כך נבנה. יופייך בהדרך, בחורבנך עד אומייך לא שונה. אצלי במחול, את תשכוחי ונלך, יחד נשיר בקול, את הדרך ייראה. אוי די 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 די. עד בזיכרוני איך אוכל בבת עיני שאשכחך, תדבק לשוני לחיכי מיד החוש במחיצתך. ואם יקרה הבצלי ולא אדע את מקומי, אורי אורי נחמי מעפר יתנערי. אוי די 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 די.
Something that has to do with this, I don't know, there is something special with Shmulik. Shmulik every year brings not just a hit, but a hit and special dance. Since the 70s you do this.
Listen, in Hebrew we say, if you don't have, אם אין לך מה לעשות, אל תעשה את זה פה. If you don't have what to do, don't do it here. If you don't have what to say, don't say. There is a lot of dances. We don't need more dances. We need more dances that say something. I always said that to myself. And Yoav said something very nice one time. He said about one of the dances, he said, even if people don't dance that dance, it should be, because people should see how a dance should look like. And I agree, but you have to understand, I always was sensitive, my ear, to these melodies, Ladino, Moroccan, Taimani for sure, and etc. It's a Debka, Hasidic. I love Hasidic music. I always was afraid that people will say, okay, what do you want to say here? אתה צריך להגיד בדיוק, you have to say. When you take Debka Mimuna, which there is no Debka for Mimuna, but I learned what the song talks about. I understand the words. I took the Moroccan specific movement, and the whole thing together makes sense to me. And the whole story was that I got the music from the guy who was collecting the money in my gate in Akko. He was a Moroccan guy. He used to come with a 3-part suit, like sharp guy. I got the music from him, and I said, it's nice. And then I came to Shlomo Maman. I didn't have it again, Shlomo Maman. Shlomo Maman was before us, you have to understand, and he was very open. Talking with Shlomo was, Shlomo was always open. I said, Shlomo, I have music. Why don't you make a dance, Moroccan dance? Then he said to me, you make. I says, no, Shlomo, you're Moroccan. He says, you speak Moroccan. You grew up with Moroccan too. You can do that. So I remember this dance was like a poof. You know, it used to be a rule in one of the camps, Moshe Skyo camp, and the rule was they cannot put a dance twice. So I finished to teach. I think someone brought the video of that moment. I think it's Israel Jacobi. And you saw 500 people sitting down on the floor after one time. And it's a wooden floor. Boom, boom. And I never knew why they're demonstrating. You know, when you like something, you can clap or you can whatever. I never knew what's happening. Why they're angry.
Wanted to dance again.
And I never knew. And then they didn't have a choice. They put it. And the Moshiko took me to a conversation to tell me that it's responsibility to be successful. I said to him, You're right, but I don't understand why to blame me. Because one of the teachers stopped the music in the middle after the second time.
اللي قلبه صافي من العين الله ينجيه سعد ودايم وفيه ربي يجي يكافيه اللي قلبه صافي من العين الله ينجيه سعد ودايم وفيه ربي يجي يكافيه شي وجهه يعطيك خبار نيته ما تشفاش من البعيد يطير غبارو اللي قلبه مغشاش وجهه يعطيك خبار نيته ما تشفاش من البعيد يطير غبارو اللي قلبه بارد هذاك حتى كلام عليه صيبه غير عناد لا فايدة لا صلاح بيه اللي قلبه بارد هذاك حتى كلام عليه صيبه غير عناد لا فايدة ولا صلاح بيه اللي قلبه صافي من العين الله ينزيه سعده دايم وفيه ربي يجي كافيه اللي قلبه صافي.
Also, something that you brought to the Rikudeam for the first time and you keep doing is you are someone that finds singers that have never been used before in Rikudeam, and you bring a song and then they become so successful in so many, like Nedunia, the first song of Eyal Golan in the Rikudeam.
The first song of Eyal Golan in folk dancing in Nedunia. The first song of Chaim Moshe in folk dancing Lakum Ve'La'amod. The first song of Chaim Israel Bakapayim, and the first song of so many of them. Why I'm doing that? Yishai Ribo, I was the first one to be. Why I'm doing that? Because I have a very, very sensitive ear, and music is, you see here the guitar. So I'm not such a great player, but my son is a professional musician. But music is my passion also, very, very. Lishmoa, le'azin. And I grew up also in a very talented musician in Israel. His name is Shmulik Neufeld, which he did for me the legend arrangement for Nofa Galil. When I brought the music for him and he made the arrangement, after that, he said to me, so many choreographers came to me and they said, we want arrangement like Nofa Galil. After that, I couldn't work with him because, again, all the choreographers worked, and I was very happy for him. I bring a lot of new, and after bringing one or songs from them, then I cannot touch them because everybody on top of them, and I'm very happy. I think more than 99% of my dances, all of them are not a hit from the radio. Nobody knew what is it in Chata Adama. Nobody even remembers Shira Aflaga. So the songs are talking to me. They have to say something. Yesh mashu shama shemdaber iti, and I talk with it. It have to be, when I came with Israel Yafa, everybody said to me, this is Boaz, but where you brought the song from? Elamayim. Where you brought? It's Hebrew, and you hear it's a good song. Or when I take something very, very traditional like Simcha Gdola, which we grew up on, all the choreographers said, we wanted to do a choreography for that. It's waiting for you from the 50s. Why?
It's true. So before we continue, I want everybody to dance some of the dances that we've just mentioned. Combination of special with Israel Yafa, with Nedunia. We take a little bit of all this and we dance with everybody and with Shmulik. Let's dance.
עשן לשמיים, נבלעים בחלל, נמוגים במרחב.
שרת המון
במגרש כדורגל, תפילת החזן, נגינת העוגה. קריאתה של העיר, המיית האוקיינוס, כל מים רבים וקולות מלחמה. מתמזגים להם יחד, הנחת האדמה. היא בבת התינוק שנפלט מהשקט, הנחת הזקן של השקט הולך. היללה קטן, צפירת הרכבת, אין כולן צליל אחד מתמשך. קריאתה של העיר, המיית האוקיינוס, כל מים רבים וקולות מלחמה. מתמזגים להם יחד, הנחת האדמה.
אנדי
כמו עשן לשמיים, נבלעים בחלל, נמוגים במרחב.
הקולות שעולים
כמו עשן לשמיים, נבלעים בחלל, נמוגים במרחב.
بلادي حبهم قلبي مولع دو واكتب بحيرة ما يفسر ولا يعصد سواهم صار جنة سرق كل مظلوم بلادي حبهم قلبي مولع دو واكتب بحيرة ما يفسر ولا يعصد سواهم صار جنة سرق كل مظلوم دان دانا دان ودانا دانا ودانا ودانا دانا دان ودانا دان ودانا دان ودانا ودانا دان وهدان دان دانا دان ودانا دانا ودانا ودانا دانا دان ودانا دان ودانا دان ودانا ودانا دان وهدان
Everybody will shake the tail. Say it. One more time inside. We'll shake the tail. No turning, הארץ הזאת, בשידור, softly.
Okay, so I think that now I would like to bring and to ask you the story behind one of the most special dances that you have. This dance is from 1977 called Esev Bar.
The name of Esev Bar is a group. There is a group called Esev Bar, but the name of the music that I used, named Ma'agal, the original name. So the story that happened is this. Our very best friend, her name is Iris Avner. She's one of the best teachers ever. She used to come to Machol Europa. She used to live in Belgium for a while. Make the story short, we've been in a restaurant in the Galil. I remember it was Moshav Amirim. And while the food is coming, I was hearing a music that it was like I couldn't eat. Maze was like asking, what is it? And then the guy that was serving the food, he says, you really want to know about that? And he was walking. I said, yes. He came again. He says, he gave us more, labane and all those things. Oh, I'll tell you later. I stood up. I went after him to the kitchen. I said, don't mess around with me. Tell me, what's this music? He says, do you like it? I says, no, I don't like it. I love it. I want to know, what is it? What's the big deal? If you don't know, say you don't know. He says, well, it's me. I'm the musician. And then this is kind of people that there exist, but they're not exist anymore as a group, but very special people that one of them is a nature person that lives in the Galilee. One of them is working with rescue dogs and animals, and so they become to be together. Like, this is spiritual people that. So, and I said to them, listen, I'm not going to call it Ma'agal, I'm going to call it Esev Bar because I want people to know you. And then this is the whole story. And then after that, I did with them Achenu Ethiopia, and then other choreographers came. And I like when I bring new music. I don't, you know me, I don't make arrangement with the musician, give only to me. No. And this is the story of Esev Bar. But I didn't do a dance. I did the choreography.
This is what I wanted to ask you.
Yes.
I know this, and I learned it from you, and we danced it together many years ago.
I remember you. I think it was your first time in Machol Europa, right?
And you made me run around the circle.
Remember you running?
But so wait, so tell everybody a little bit behind the choreography behind the Esev Bar, because every part has a different significance.
Yes. As you know, I don't make dances, I make stories. The whole idea was to understand what is it, Esev Bar. So it talks about the growth, okay, of the wheat, and the whole idea of how things coming to the world from really the land, okay? And then there is a growth of one of the, always when you go to a field, there is one of them upper, and it could be a field for kilometers, for miles, and there is one. Oh, usually, by the way, they're on the sides. It's different. I was asking farmers why it's happened. And then it comes the cutting time, and then the combine come. And then you go back to the land to work for the next year. The whole dance is up, and at the end is down. Why? Because everything coming from working the land. Then I did it for stage, for Lakat Motzkin and other groups, Lakat Ha'emek.
So before we continue, let's all together take Esef Bar and dance it with Shmulik.
I hope it's you there.
I hope, we will see. So, I would love for you to tell everybody, what do you do now besides dancing? Because there is a lot of things that you do in your life. I'm not sure if people actually know that. So let's hear it.
What I'm doing now, the results of that, making it short, is I took all my knowledge in education, movement, sport, dance, Judaism, religion, Israel, prayers, and etc., and etc., all those big names, and I created programs that they are part of schools, nursery schools, and many, many Jewish institutes. For example, I have a program for nursery schools, since I'm very much knowledge in that subject, fine motor, gross motor children. I have a program called DDSP, Dance, Drum, Sing, and Play, which means you engage children to Judaism through fun, through dance,
That's right.
through song. But you need to do it 2021, because it has to be very interesting and it has to be to the point.
And needs to be quite dynamic, because the kids don't have any attention span nowadays. Not even kids, like humans. We are so fast, you know.
In my website, you can find a big phrase that I created by the years, and I really believe that the best tool to teach everything, and especially religion, is the art. This is what I do, and people don't know. People think that I do folk dancing, and they don't know that I don't make living from creating dances or being this is not my daily work. Beside that, I do musicals. I just did 3 years ago, very big high school, the Aryan High School. I did The Beauty and the Beast. It's in the internet. Yeah, I'm coming from a different point to do those choreographies, and they're like, "Who's this guy?"
Oh, crazy. Yeah. So, we haven't danced any partner dances yet from you. So I am going to pick 3. I'm going to take the lead, and I'm going to ask you to tell me one thing of each. The first one that we are going to take is a Yemenite partner dance called Yater. Yater, it's from 1989. The second one that I very, very much love, and I absolutely love that it's an energetic partner dance, is Eizo Shemesh Mevorechet. It's such a classic song, and everywhere that I have been, in every camp around the world, this dance has been there. But the third one that I'm going to ask you is a more soft dance, and it's look my skin when I speak about this one. It's Ahava Rechoka.
Yater came in a context of three of them. Before Yater was Sajani, Shigaon Ahava. But people who could not say Sajani, so Mira Hashriel, may rest in peace, changes to Shigaon Ahava. Anyway, when I did Sajani, my mom, may rest in peace, she was like the head of the ceremony. When they do hinne, like before the wedding, so she had to sit down and everybody's coming and doing the ceremony. If she didn't move, everything was not okay. She was like moving, like we're in the right direction. And I don't know, but it's either they hold it nice or they didn't mix it on time. Everything together, you know what I mean? So when I finished Tajani, it was in her kitchen. I was putting the music and I was dancing. I didn't ask her the permission to do a dance, but I said, what do you think about that? Because she knew I'm like about dancing. She just looked like this. She says, it's okay. She didn't say anything. But as a matter of fact, I was like super original, taking only the lady step. This is a different conversation. Then after that came Yater, which I really liked. And I was afraid with Yater because I did at the beginning like a little hop, because there is a hop there that bring you, it's like wake you up, shake you, start dancing. This was the idea there.
It's something so interesting about the Yater, because if we talk about choreography now, the counts are very interesting. It's square, but it's not square.
You miss 4 counts there.
Exactly. Plus, you change a foot. You change the leg
and it goes perfect.
And it goes perfect.
So many of my dances, people in the beginning was like, Maze. And now, Zeze.
So before we go to the partner dances, Ahava Rechoka, who is the singer? Ahava
Rechoka et Kalakat Karmon. One of the singers at our tour was Avi Toledano. To be very close, and it's a tour. You're in the bus.
One of the legends of the Israeli music.
Yes, he's one of the most. Yeah, I wasn't interested in the music. I was interested in the story.
Okay.
Because Ahava Rechoka, it starts with the word Bait Lavan Alageva. Bait Lavan is Casablanca. There is a city called Casablanca. So he went back home. As a matter of fact, he ran away from Morocco when he was 15 or 16 years old alone. Came to Israel and established himself, the whole story. So when he went back, so he's singing, by the way, with his daughter.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So when he came back, he wrote the song. And then it made me, so the whole beginning of the dance, yes, it's a circle of life. It's my circle, your circle, our circle.
אז יאללה, זוגות, יתר, איזו שמש מבורכת, אהבה רחוקה.
يا طاهري مالك يا طاهري مالك بتبكي مع السباب هلكت مثلي مفارق للحبيب هرحت قلبي بلحنك والطراب ذكرتني بالهوى بيت الحبيب
מטפשת, איזו שמש מבורכת,
בית לבן על הגבע, גרה שם אהובתי, זאת שפגשתי בתוך ילדותי, בת ההרים והטבע. קיץ ארוך ושלכת, לי הייתה לי נשיקות, אז כשביקשנו לצחוק ולבכות, בת נעוריי המולכת. חזרי, חזרי, ילדונת שלי צוחקת, אמרי, אמרי, לאן זה עודך עומקת, לא אל תעזבי, לא אל תעזבי, חכי, נפשי בנפשך חושקת. יש לי מולדת אחרת, ובמרחק יפתי, אנה פנתה והלכה חמדתי, בת האביב הזוהרת. יש לי מולדת אחרת, ובמרחק יפתי, אנה פנתה והלכה חמדתי, בת האביב הזוהרת. חזרי, חזרי, ילדונת שלי צוחקת, אמרי, אמרי, לאן זה עודך עומקת, לא אל תעזבי, לא אל תעזבי, חכי, נפשי בנפשך חושקת. בית לבן על הגבע, גרה שם אהובה.
As I said before,
I thought I said everything. You get from me what nobody got.
no one, I tell you, and I am proud, and I say thank you. But before I say thank you, in the last few years, you also managed to make us crazy with two very, very special dances. One of them is Esh Be'enaich, that we have an amazing video that we are actually dancing it together. The first time you taught this dance in Mahol Europa, I think it's the first time you taught it ever. I think it was that you brought it. And I remember you told me before teaching it, I have something, I hope it's going to be, because we didn't know. And then I remember, and you will be able to see everybody else from so many different countries going crazy for Esh Be'enaich. And the second dance, the latest dance that we love around the world, that in Carmiel, I was there last year in the Mitzah, there were 3,500, 4,000 people dancing at the same time, is Sidchi Li Yalda, Shai Levi.
Well, what can I say? I have to say thank you. If we listen to the songs, there is something there. When you take the first one, the singer is Itzi Kala. Always before I'm doing a Kurdish dance or something flavored with Kurdistan or this area, I always call Avner Naim. And if he's going to hear this program, he's going to kill me. Because first, I really, really appreciate him, his knowledge, his creativity, he become to be one of the most important broadcasting guy in the radio. And we are very close friends.
Yeah, the whole of Israel, his program is very, very successful and he's very good actually.
Yes, and more than that, we are close friends. We share machshavot, knowledge, and we talk. Sometimes very deep. So I came to him and I says, listen, do you want to make a dance? He said, stop. What do you want? I said, listen, there is a song, this and this, called Esh Be'enaich, and why don't you make a dance? He said to me, another time you're coming to me. I'm not sure he remembered that conversation. I said, because I wanted to do a Kurdish song. He says, I trust you, you can do one. I said, okay, I did one.
He did the blessing.
Yeah, no, it's like a joke, between us. it started already with Choppy, with Zorna, with all my, Dalale. And what is it, Esh Be'enaich? Esh means fire. He was so happy. So, when we dance Hora Medura, we do the fire. So now, go to the dance Esh Be'enaich and dance with me. Esh Be'enaich, right? And now you go inside. Ta-ra-ta-ta-ta, Esh Be'enaich, right? Down. So I took the idea, this is how the dance started. The dance started with Esh Be'enaich. And then the whole steps the steps was building like, I didn't want to go far away from the Kurdish style, like heavy one. But I was so surprised. This is one of the dances, being honest. I said, I don't know if the Israelis will eat it.
And the second dance that you were saying is also very interesting, and I'm going to let you say just a few words about the steps, because it's very interesting, the story behind the Shai Levi and behind the Shai Levi and Silchili Alda, forgive me, it's very interesting.
First, both of them are not new songs, as you know. So Esh Be'enaich is like around 10 years and Silchili Alda even more. When I heard the song Silchili Alda, I knew if there is no dance for that, I knew that should be a dance. I remember when and what was the moment. And then I was listening to the words, Silchili Alda, al kol hadma'ot, Silchili Alda. And then everybody knows the story of him. Then it was a big question between me and myself. Am I going to follow the words or the idea? Because what happened with him, the most fascinating story is what, as a matter of fact, saved his life, his wife. That he is always everywhere, every interview talking, he says, I'm not here. This is my wife. Without her, I wouldn't be here. And they're still together, and the family is together. And as a matter of fact, she's his manager now. And he's doing very, very well. I just saw him today on the TV. So Silchili Alda became, how you say forgive me to a lady? You can say forgive me, but he was begging and asking, and she gave him a cold shoulder. And then etc. and etc. And then he's begging Silchili Alda, because he was not in reality for a long time. It was like, I don't know where he was. And then at the end, when you like to say,
Thank you very much.
So there is the flower he asked her and he gave her, and she never wanted, probably. He didn't really behave nice. And only at the end, only one flower make it. I mean, he is chazak now. He is clean. His son is a great dance, but his dance a great singer. By the way, his daughter also a very good singer. Nobody knows. I heard her once or twice. So I'm still waiting to hear from her.
So here it is, Esh Be'enaich and Silchili Alda all around the world.
כמה את יפה אני יודע, עוד אחת כמוך אין בעולם, מיופייך אפשר להשתגע, זה מה שאומרים כולם. תני לי רק סיכוי להישאר שפוי, את לא מבינה מה את עושה לי. מהיום שבאת הראש מושבת, וואלה לא יודע מה קרה לי. אש בעינייך, בשפתייך, למה את ראשי את מסובבת? ובמילותייך את דוקרת, משחקת ולא מתאהבת. אש בעינייך, בשפתייך, למה את ראשי את מסובבת? ובמילותייך את דוקרת, משחקת ולא מתאהבת. יש בך מהדבש ומהעוקץ, בקלות שוברת לבבות, ולמרות הכל עוד יש בי אומץ, להמשיך ולנסות. תני לי רק סיכוי להישאר שפוי, את לא מבינה מה את עושה לי. מהיום שבאת הראש מושבת, וואלה לא יודע מה קרה לי. אש בעינייך, בשפתייך, למה את ראשי את מסובבת? ובמילותייך את דוקרת, משחקת ולא מתאהבת. אש בעינייך, בשפתייך, למה את ראשי את מסובבת? ובמילותייך את דוקרת, משחקת ולא מתאהבת. בשפתייך, למה את ראשי את מסובבת? ובמילותייך את דוקרת, משחקת ולא מתאהבת. יש בעינייך, בשפתייך, למה את ראשי את מסובבת? ובמילותייך את דוקרת, משחקת ולא מתאהבת. משחקת ולא מתאהבת, משחקת ולא מתאהבת.
Ready? 5, 6, go.
במבט שנגלה מעינייך, בשתיקה שעולה משפתייך, מדמיינת עצמי בלעדייך, אל תלכי. תני לי עוד הזדמנות להוכיח, לבדי לא אוכל להצליח. לרגע הכל יתהפך, כך מצטער. סלחי לי ילדה על כל הדמעות, סלחי לי ילדה אם רחקתי בלילות, לקחתי הכל כמובן מאליו, עצוב לבדי נותרתי עכשיו. סלחי לי ילדה על כל הדמעות, סלחי לי ילדה אם רחקתי בלילות, לקחתי הכל כמובן מאליו, עצוב לבדי נותרתי עכשיו.
ביג פלאואר.
הפיתוי בי גדול, איך נסחפתי, ואחרי חברים רק נגררתי. את הזהרת ולך לא הקשבתי, מצטער. מה צופה מעתיד לא יודע, עוד שנייה לבדי אשתגע. תחזרי אני מתגעגע אהובה. סלחי לי ילדה על כל הדמעות, סלחי לי ילדה אם רחקתי בלילות, לקחתי הכל כמובן מאליו, עצוב לבדי נותרתי
Shmulik, for everybody that is watching, I first of all want to say that I think it's been really special for me to have you in my living room and to be in your living room and to be together, sharing, talking. I wanted this to be very informal and, you know, like we speak every day on the phone, but for everybody to also join us. So the last question of this very special program, and I don't know if anybody has ever asked this or if you have said this before, feel free to say whatever you think. I would like to know, what is your favorite dance?
Ooh. You know, it's many dances. It's more than 600 that I have to go.
If there is. If not, no.
The question is very clear and the answer is very short. I'll never forget what Eliyahu Gamliel said to me. He hugged me, big hug, and said always to my ears, don't change, stay as you are. Why he said that, I don't know, but Eliyahu is a legend. You know, it's like a biblical figure. To know Eliyahu Gamliel is like to know someone from the Bible. I really believe, really believe that a human being always have to think for tomorrow, for next. It doesn't matter what we did in our life. The most important, if it was meaningful to us and if it's meaningful for the others, sababa, and you know, you don't need more than that. And I become to understand by the years that really the dance that I love more than anything else is the dance that I'm going to create tomorrow.
So I'm going to take this, and it's really, I think it's really good that you say this, and it's really special because it fits exactly what I'm going to say now. From my heart, Shmulik, in front of everybody that is watching, because now more than ever, there are no limits, there are no borders, it's one world. I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you. You are with me from the beginning, literally from the beginning.
First, Ilai, I say that I really love the fact that you, with your professionality and your level and your understanding and your really working hard for Israeli culture and what you do, it's not only dance, it's Israeli culture. And it's not only Israeli culture, it's Jewish culture. Jewish culture has a lot of flavors. And what you do, when I see what you do, when I see how you do, when I see how many times you do, I have a very good feeling that the Jewish arts and culture are in good hands. And we need to make sure that people like you, and especially you, will stay in that field because we need good role models. This is and your eyes should look at your teachers. This is a phrase I remember as a kid when I came to Kita Aleph. And you are one of the morim that really do such a good job around the world. And I love and respect what you do. Toda ala הזדמנות. Thank you for the opportunity. You made me work so hard. You made me think so deep. אני אוהב אותך.
תודה,
Say hello
שמוליק.
to the family.
I will, and the same, and I can't wait to share many more opportunities to dance and to teach together.
We just start.
We are just starting, נכון.
Shabbat shalom.
שבת שלום.
זה קצת עצוב, זה כמו ללכת לאיבוד, ליפול לבור שאין לו סוף, עמוק ורחוק מן האור. כי לפעמים זה קצת עצוב, זה כמו ללכת